Well, last month, Boeing announced at least 16,000 of its employees could be laid off, and we did confirm that Friday is the day that these warning layoff notices are supposed to come out. But we do want to be clear, some of these will be buyouts. The company, however, did do an earlier round of layoffs, but we know that many more across the Puget Sound are expected to lose their jobs. According to the Puget Sound Business Journal, Boeing's union engineers officials were told to expect between 15 and 20% in cuts of its membership. The Society of Professional Engineering Employees in Aerospace says 1,300 local members are taking a voluntary layoff. The Puget Sound Business Journal also reported over 600 cuts have been made in 2 foreign countries since workforce reduction plans were announced. In Canada, 400 workers were told that they would soon be losing their jobs. So Boeing originally announced that they were going to have to do these layoffs after reporting a loss of about $641 million in the first quarter. Revenue was also down 26%. That's according to the Associated Press. So they say these layoffs are absolutely necessary. I'm live here in Everett, Kira Elfallen, King 5 News.